I think you have a beautiful smile, first of all.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Are you confident in your smile?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident in my smile.
I think it's the thing that disarms the people the most with me, so I'm very confident in my smile. I think the thing that I'm absolutely best at in the entire world, better than anybody else, is making eye contact with somebody and then smiling at them and acknowledging their presence. So yeah, I like my smile.
How does the state of my smile impact how I feel? So I will say I am more inclined to smile very big when I have just brushed my teeth.
I mean, I feel like this is kind of a materialistic answer, but I'd say that like when it's been a whole long day and I haven't brushed my teeth since the morning, I definitely don't feel as confident as like when I have freshly brushed teeth.
I didn't realize how much a smile could really convey because I never smiled in photos. I was always like scowling or brooding looking, and I just thought I had an ugly smile. I thought I had too many, my teeth were small. I thought I had gaps in my teeth. Then I just became more comfortable in realizing like, this is the only smile I got. So I'm just gonna try and use it as much as I can.
What do you think is the #1 chronic disease in America?
#1 chronic disease, depression.
Probably mental health.
In America or the world? America, obesity.
Probably cardiovascular disease, I would say.
I think that the major chronic illness is heart disease.
It's a good guess. It's actually tooth decay.
Wow. Okay, I did not see that one coming.
Way off. I was way off. Way off.
Tooth decay. Oh.
Is that shocking at all to hear?
That's very shocking. It's definitely a reality that people don't realize and probably overlook, that having access to good, proper dental care is a privilege, and we are very lucky, those of us that are able to just have things like toothpaste and toothbrushes and mouthwash and everything else at our disposal.
I mean, man, if you think about it, teeth are actually decaying inside of your mouth. That's a disease for sure. People don't think about it because I guess it's so prevalent and nobody, like, I can't say nobody cares, but like, I don't know, just lack of awareness. And you know, when you say the word ignorant, it's not in any derogative sense, because I am very ignorant. I don't know how to change my oil by myself. I'm ignorant on how to do so. So ignorance is the main reason why people don't know that tooth decay is the most prevalent disease.
I think there's probably less access to affordable dental care. Primary care comes first, but I think dental care is probably an afterthought for a lot of people. And I never went to the dentist as a child because just in my family, you know, we didn't have a lot of money, so it was never a priority. You know, we didn't have a lot of money, but we weren't broke. So if that was the case for me, I can only imagine what it's like for other families that also didn't have that bandwidth. Yeah, it's something that I hope that becomes more accessible to more people as time goes on.
Maybe people are prioritizing things more than dental care. If they only have like access to a certain amount of resources, maybe they are putting other things first because they think that that's more important, or they're maybe like putting it off. That's what I would think.
Hey everyone, Thoraya here. I think, and I'm sure we could all agree, that all smiles are beautiful, but it's about how we personally feel about our smile that matters most. And I'm not just talking about how we feel about our smile visually, but also the health of our smile and oral health. Tooth decay is the #1 chronic disease in America, and no one is immune. Every American deserves a healthy smile, but Crest and Oral-B know that the opportunities to achieve it aren't always equal. This year, Crest and Oral-B are on a mission to make great oral health a reality for everyone in America. And now, I want you all to come with me on a journey where we'll get to see firsthand how Crest and Oral-B are helping make a positive change by providing equitable access to dental care, education, and products. Let's go.
I think that you should start with my story, and that leads into what I do. I grew up in a low-income household, And I had amazing parents who cared for me, but unfortunately they didn't know about oral health or the importance of prevention. Nobody ever taught them or educated them about those things. And so then in turn, they didn't educate me. I didn't know that I should be brushing or that I should be flossing or about nutritional counseling or that I shouldn't eat all the candies. And so as a consequence, I had a lot of dental problems. But because I was low income, I didn't have access to dental care. The first time I went to the dentist, I was probably around 13 years old. I was in such extreme pain that I couldn't sleep. This pain wouldn't go away. And my mom took me to the dentist. That dentist told my mom that I needed a root canal, and my parents couldn't afford that. So instead, my mom took me home and she ground up cloves. She would mix it with water and I would stick it into the hole in my tooth. And then I would try to sleep away the pain. And while the home remedies helped some, it didn't help completely. So I just suffered through it. That memory is very vivid for me. I remember the sun being bright. I remember the green and yellow sheets. I know that I was laying at an angle. It's a very vivid memory for me. I'm pretty sure I had some sort of perio treatment because I remember as a young girl, I would wake up in the morning and there'd be blood on my pillow and there'd be dry blood on the corners of my mouth and my mouth would be thick. But that stopped happening after I received my dental care. And I made that connection. Since then, I've become a dental hygienist, the first one in my family to graduate from college, and I chose dental hygiene. I've organized around 40 community outreach events, and these events are free to the community. We do free oral cancer screenings, free sealants, education, because I truly believe in the power of education, in offering people resources and letting them know the resources available to them.
So how has it been working with Crest and Oral-B? How did you start working with them?
Yeah, Crest and Oral-B's been amazing. Through my story of access to care, they've supported me in my entire journey, in my vocal Latinidad. They've supported me in being a minority and being strong and outspoken, and I love that. But it's really made an impact in my community. They've provided me with free products to give to my patients, things that I otherwise in our clinic doesn't have resources to sometimes purchase. And so through them, not only are they supplying us with things which might seem minimal for our patients who don't have resources, who don't have money, it makes an impact for them because otherwise they wouldn't have access to these things. We ask the children if they have a toothbrush before we ask them if they're brushing because a lot of children don't have toothbrushes. I didn't have a toothbrush growing up. You know, there was probably things around, but nothing designated to me. And we've learned that in our communities, it's so easy to assume that everybody has the same resources that we do, and that's not the reality. Maybe it's our reality, but it's not the reality for the majority of the United States. We talk about cavities being the #1 chronic disease. What does that tell you? That tells you that there's disparities happening. And that's not just me and my experiences. There are statistics and studies that show that. You mentioned earlier, like, when was the last time your cheeks hurt? My cheeks hurt right now, just talking about Crest and Oral-B, because I am really appreciative to them and the support that they've given, not just me, but my patients. And, you know, as a big company like Crest and Oral-B, they don't have to do those things, and yet they do. And I don't see any other company out there doing those things. Yeah, they took an interest in me, and I don't necessarily feel like I bring that much value to them, but they definitely bring value to me and to my patients. I didn't want to cry. They choose to highlight communities that are suffering, communities that do need advocacy, communities that are often overlooked. That says a lot to me. I think when we think about dental care and how we take it for granted, and we're dealing with these children, and we think that their lives are so simple. Their lives aren't simple, their lives are complicated. We want to provide them with education and resources. We're there to help them. And if we're not there to help them, then we don't need to be there. And I truly believe that. I am not their savior, we are not their savior. What we're doing is important, but it's one thing that we're doing. And so if we're not there to do the good, then we shouldn't be there, and I think that we are. I don't know, I keep thinking back on how I couldn't have imagined this for myself, being that child who was laying in a bed in pain, unable to sleep, and now to be partnering with Crest and Oral-B to bring access to care to children like me, to people like my parents, like my grandparents. What a better life. And I'm truly grateful to Crest and Oral-B that they are supporting me in my mission and caring for the community, in turning a little girl's suffering into a mission so that other children don't have to suffer these same things.